Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. I'm really excited because I'm continuing my series on interviewing my clients who are in their 90s, and today I have a very special guest. Celestine Laney joins me for an interview full of joy, laughter, and a lifetime of wisdom and memories. I'm so excited to introduce you to her. I hope you enjoy this interview with Celestine. Let's dive in. Well, I'm really excited for today's video. I'm honored to be able to interview my client and my friend, Celestine Laney. She is somebody who's very close to my heart, somebody that's very special to me. We have a lot of amazing conversations. And so she agreed to sit down with me as part of this series where we're interviewing people in their 90s who are willing to give back and share their life experience and wisdom with people who are looking to learn from this amazing generation. Celestine, thanks so much for joining me and doing this. This is really special. I'm glad you're here.
You're welcome, Daniel.
So what I want to start with, I just want you to tell us a little bit about where you're from, kind of give us your story, what your current age is.
I am the firstborn of my parents, and I was born in Jacksonville, Florida, 1929. My age, I'm 94 and a half.
That's wonderful. What achievement are you most proud of?
That's my mantra, be true to myself, and everything else will fall in place with me, and I've lived by that all of my life.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. I've definitely gleaned that from spending time with you. You're very true to yourself, and you've encouraged me to do the same. What is your happiest memory?
Well, I've had a number of happy memories at this age, but my first happiest memory was my prom night. I was 17 and a half, and I got my first kiss. I just was so excited, I ran to tell my mother about it. I was breathless. I later married that young man too, by the way.
At prom, did they do the corsages and the
my fiance gave me a very nice corsage, yeah. Very much a gentleman. I always liked Boy Scout type of guys and smart guys. I didn't like guys that weren't smart. I had certain standards, and they had to meet it, and I didn't demand it. If they couldn't meet it, just don't bother with me, go get somebody else.
This question is, what's your biggest regret? Do you have any regrets?
I have no regrets.
That's awesome.
Because I feel if I'd done anything differently, I wouldn't be where I am now, because any decisions you make, there is a turnout from that. So you would have to go back and critique it and say, well, I wish I'd done this. Then you don't know what would have come out of making that decision. So obviously, I made the right decisions for me at the time, because I'm where I'm comfortable with myself now.
That's beautiful perspective. Each decision got you where you are now, and you look back.
Yeah. And I'm happy where I am now.
Was there a season in your life that was your absolute favorite? You had the most fun, or something that was special during any particular year or time frame?
I'm a girl that have fun all the wherever she is. I am.
You are.
I moved around every 3 years, and I had fun everywhere I moved, because my mantra is bloom where you are. So if I'm where I am, I'm going to have a good time.
Bloom where you are.
Yes.
I love that. What is the most rewarding thing about getting older?
I think one of the rewarding things about being older is you've seen so much happen, and you know you don't have all the answers. You can try to keep your mind open and receptive to new things that's coming your way, although it's frightening because you don't know what's out there, the terminologies, the new inventions. But if you keep your mind open and just concentrate on, I can do this, be assured of yourself, who you are, and I think you'll be okay.
It touches on being true to yourself.
That's right. That's still my practice.
What advice would you give to anybody who's trying to overcome a difficult season of their life? You know, people go through, you mentioned you've seen so much. What would be advice you'd give to them?
Don't accept everything as it appears to be. I always said there's 3 sides to a coin: the front, the back, and the oblique. And as humans, we usually look at the front and make judgment. We look at the back and we come to a conclusion. And if you look at the oblique side, there's a, what's there? And really open up your brain, because the brain is very perceptive. You will find out some challenging things to do and say, hey, this is my world too, and I'm going to live this world the best I know how. And I'm always going to be in charge of my life, and let nobody define who I am.
That is amazing. I'm so glad we sat down to do this. I've never heard that before. 3 sides to a coin. What's the hardest and scariest economic period you've lived through?
Oh, I can't remember the year just much, but when the stock market almost went under. I never was keen on investing in the stock market. I was working at the time in Boston, Massachusetts, and I would go to work and I would put some money in the bank, And I always researched and seen what bank was paying the highest interest. I was saving $40 a month. That's all I could save. But I found if you systematically save a certain amount of money, you will get your goal, you reach your goal. It was very rewarding. But I invested some of my money in the stock market, and I just didn't have an easy feeling about it. And just before the stock market folded under, it didn't completely fold, but it was really losing. And they were telling me, all you have to do is just ride it out. It'll come back. But I took my money out, and I was happy.
That's good. There's a lot there. We're talking about, paying yourself first.
Yeah.
That's a great principle. And having a goal and systematically saving to that goal. I think that's been proven to build wealth and be a good, prudent saver.
I try to teach that to my grandchildren. It's kind of difficult for them to grasp that if they put $1 a day away, they have $365 at the end of the year. And when you're young, that can seem like a lot of money.
Yeah. What's another financial lesson that you would pass on that you want to share with people that's helped you in your life that you think is something that people should know about?
Seek out a learned advisor and make sure that they are working toward not what their company may want, but what is your goal and your desires, and what are you trying to, what you want in your portfolio to get to where you want to be later. And also an advisor that's flexible, that has a vision, because some advisors will hold on to one way of doing things and they're not going to move out of that way.
I like how you touched on them having a vision. Why do you think that's important for everybody to have a vision?
Well, it gives you something to look forward to. You're just not wandering around like a feather in the breeze. You have something concrete, and it's good for humans to have something concrete to rely on. And I find that sometimes people today do not have that. They find out that monetary things, like buying a new car or a boat or buying the latest shoes or dresses or whatever, is the thing. And nothing is wrong with that, I don't think. But you first should see if you have enough money invested where you'll have paid for your rent or can pay for your mortgage or pay for your notes due.
There's so much that you've added, and I appreciate you being so flexible. Obviously, being 94, how long have you been retired?
I don't think I've ever been retired. You don't retire. You might stop working for a company outward, but you always working for yourself. Because I'm very independent. I don't have to go to my children and ask for funds.
I love your perspective on retirement. I totally agree with that 100%. I think we retire to something, a new phase of our life. We're always working for ourselves. I think you said working on yourself, which I love that. What specific tools have you used to help secure your retirement? Like you said, you retired from working for a company, so now you have maintained financial independence on your own. What tools have you used to help make sure that you could have security in your retirement?
Selecting the right advisors like you, trying to work with people like you, that you bring a lot of vitality, working toward your client's best interest. You're very open-minded, and that's the key to it, working with somebody that's a professional and letting them know what you want, and don't settle for less.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that sincerely. And we've been working together, and I've been having an amazing time with you and your family, and it's been very special for me. That's why I'm glad we're doing this. They always say that one of the biggest things that impacts your life is who you marry. It can impact so many different things about your life. So not only choosing a responsible steward like a family member, but also looking at who they're married to, because that has an influence over them. Yeah, it's such an important consideration in terms of choosing the right people to select to help you with these things. What would you tell a family raising kids right now who's trying to make it in this time?
Always try to communicate with your children as much as you possibly can. Let them know it's a lot of people out there, like their friends, and they're doing certain things that you and dad may not want them to do. And that you have their best interest at heart, and it's nothing that they could do that they can't tell mom and dad. Always have your door open, that they can come to you and tell you anything. And I mean anything.
What would you tell somebody who's preparing to start their retirement today?
Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's diversify. That's about the best I can say, diversify. Go to the seminars, read, and so you can be well informed about what's out there.
Yeah.
As I say, get a good advisor and let them help you make those decisions.
Everybody's unique and they have different goals, different circumstances. What advice would you give to a married couple?
Work with each other. Be on the same page. If you're not on the same page, at least listen to their views. Seriously. try to give them what they want from the relationship, not exactly what you think they should want. Really be candid about discussing, because what you think will make somebody happy may not make them happy. It will make you happy.
Yeah.
But what is their love language? What is it? And it may be totally different from yours, but respect that and try to embrace that. But what is, after all of the differences you may have, what is the one thing you have together that both of you are on the same page? Is it your children? Is it the way you invest money? Is it your extended family? Because some people really like being a part of their extended family and they're not very comfortable about it. That is one of the things I don't believe in divorce is, I believe if you love somebody so much and you got married to them first, you can get back to that somewhere. It's still there somewhere. Work on that. Now, if it's an abusive marriage, that's a different thing. If you have someone that's abusive, I don't think you should stay in that relationship. I think you should try to work it out to see why that individual is being abusive. It should seek outside help to get it straightened out.
I love that commitment to that agreement.
Yes.
And that fortitude to stick with something.
Right.
But I love the distinction you put on about walking away when it's the right time, or
right.
for an abusive situation.
Yeah.
I love that you included that. And I think one of the best things you've given me in our time is every time I'm here, you always remind me to do something sweet for my wife, or you always, every time you give me a hug and you're like, make sure you do something for Jennifer, which is so nice. How do you measure wealth?
Good question. Well, I guess it comes in different titles. Wealth can mean you have a yacht, private jet or plane, you have the latest auto, you have the biggest house, and you have a lot of currency. Some people will call that wealth. There's another kind of wealth. If you can get 3 solid square meals on your table, you're in a safe house, safe environment, and you have money enough to meet your necessary needs, and you have contentment. If you have contentment, I think that's wealth.
I think that's beautifully defined. Okay, what is your legacy?
I will say Daniel has helped me with realizing my legacy, because I've been working on that for years. And we get back to finding the right person to actually address what you've been trying to say for years and years and years, which I have. What is my goal? What is my legacy? To leave some monetary gift to my children, and my extended family, my grands and great-grands, will not be impoverished if they use that legacy money in a positive and safe way, in a productive way. That's my legacy. And my legacy also, I have tried to live a life that I will be pleased when I die, that I have lived a life that I wanted to live in terms of being kind and considerate, doing a kind deed each and every day of my life, and trying to accept people where they are and not where I want them to be. That is very difficult sometimes. But that's my legacy.
Wow.
Because I'm a fun girl. I love to keep the party going.
What a powerful message. That is incredible. What a beautiful legacy. You're an amazing, wonderful person. I love working with you. Thank you.
Working with you, Daniel.
Thank you for taking time to do this. This was really powerful and special, and I really appreciate you.
Well, the good Lord sent you my way, Daniel.
Well, I feel the same way.
About that.
I'm grateful for it.
Happy to see you coming in.
Thank you.
Isn't she absolutely incredible? I treasure my relationship with Celestine so much. She's an absolute joy to work with and a wonderful person. She's taught me so much, and she's so profound and wise with everything she says. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like more content like this, please take a minute to subscribe, and please like the video. It really helps me out tremendously. And I just want to say thank you so much to Celestine and her family for allowing me to participate in this interview. It was an absolute joy. If you have any questions or comments, please share them down below. I love sharing them with my clients and with everybody who watches. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you want more content like this, check us out. We got a video we do every week on retirement or something fun like these kinds of interviews. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.